there's a free version of QuickBooks now, like not just a discount, but forever free. So this is something new that just dropped. I have thoughts about this, good and bad. What we're going to do in this video is we're actually going to go through it together to see if this is worth using in your author business. I'll show you if you had to use it, what I would use it for, and what to watch out for if you do decide to use this. So let's jump in together and see if this is actually worth anything, or if you're getting exactly what you pay for with the free version. So how do you find this? The easiest way that I've found to find this is going to QuickBooks Self-Employed. Just Google that and you'll see Self-Employed Reimagined. If you click See Plans and Pricing, they now have this free version. So used to is basically just Solopreneur and Simple Start. Those are two different things. Let me just show you this real quick though. You can see free, they don't even make you put in a credit card. So what they're doing is they want to make it as easy as possible for you to get in the QuickBooks ecosystem, actually try it, and then they're going to sell you a ton of stuff. They're going to constantly be showing you the features that you can't access. They're going to have pop-ups with upsells, and then you can always upgrade to the other options. So one thing I want to point out, you do not get accountant access with this version. So if you wanted to invite your CPA or your tax preparer or some other accountant into your free version to see what you see, you cannot do that. I think what they're going to try to do is get you into QuickBooks and then sell you their live QuickBooks bookkeeping or whatever without the accountants there telling you not to do it. As opposed to with every other QuickBooks option out there, there's accountant access. You can send 2 invoices per month. For authors, that's not really a huge deal because you're probably not sending invoices. You can do 1 estimate per month. Again, not a big deal. You can accept payments, which I guess if you do like some outside services or whatever, that's fine. And you can connect only 1 bank account. Y'all know that we like Profit First, which means with Profit First, you have tons of bank accounts. I did see, we're going to test this out together, but I did see where if you have multiple bank accounts at a single bank, you could possibly connect all the bank accounts at that bank, but you can't have more than 1 bank connection. So let's see what this looks like. And I'll tell you, I'm doing this with you for the first time, so I don't have an idea of what this is going to actually look like as we get into it. I am going to put in an email address and password in here, so I'm going to have to pause the video as I do that so that you don't spam me with emails. Okay, so I put in an email address, I set up a password, it just texted me a code, I put that in, very next screen said it's setting up your account. And now, what is your business called? So I'm actually going to use a business that we have for a little rental property that we own. I'm going to say that I'm new to this. I haven't used any other bookkeeping software. Just for fun, I'm going to say author. I'm going to probably just go and change this later. Let's see. Book publishers. Let's say independent artist, writer, and performer. Let's say that we're a sole proprietor. And let's say less than $1 million in revenue. I'm the owner. Let's just say it's just the owner. I'm going to skip setting up payments because what they want you to do is sign up for a QuickBooks merchant account. And then you're just going to keep getting a ton of messages about setting that up. That would be like if you want to send an invoice that includes payment links and things like that. You don't have to do that. I am going to link the bank account. I'm going to do that later. I'm not going to click it from here. I'm going to show you how you can do that after the fact. Let's see. I don't want to send and track invoices. I don't want business banking. I do not recommend QuickBooks banking. They have a bank platform or a bank solution that's not really very good. I'm not sending estimates and quotes. I'm not doing sales tax. I'm not going to manage customers. Gosh, is there anything on here I need? Track sales, I guess, and expenses. I don't even see expenses as an option. That's interesting. Whatever. Let's just say skip for now. All right, so it's getting my all-in-one platform ready for me. If this takes too long, I'll just skip ahead. Okay, so this is the same as regular QuickBooks. Like if you have any other version of QuickBooks, this is what the dashboard looks like now, which is interesting. I would have thought maybe it would be different. So I like that it is the same. And let's just kind of go through some of the areas here. So over here on the left side, if you haven't used QuickBooks before, if you need to create anything, a journal entry, a bank draft, whatever, like if you just need to record anything, it's in here in this create button. I'm assuming that all of these little up arrows mean you have to upgrade if you want to do this. So let's just see. If we click payroll, what's going to happen? Yeah, it wants you to upgrade to a different version. So no, thank you, sir. What I'm curious about is in account. Okay, yeah, and then all these little diamonds. Um, that's gonna mean you have to upgrade to get to those. So most of the time, whenever you're doing QuickBooks and you're a solopreneur or you're just by yourself, you're gonna spend most of your time in this bank transaction screen. So let's see what this looks like. QuickBooks loves their pop-ups. And so what happens is whenever you click accounting or apps and then accounting and then bank transactions, it opens up this weird little like sidebar with all the other things in here. Again, most of the time you're going to live in this bank transaction section. I'm actually going to bookmark it. So that way you can always just get to it that way. You go away. Now, again, normally I would link accounts here, but I don't want you to see my banking information. So what I did was I have a spreadsheet of some fake transactions that look like it would come from the bank. So I'm going to upload those transactions. Let me get my spreadsheet. So I'm just going to drag and drop this spreadsheet here. And that actually should have, so this is where that would have been uploaded. So there's a little bit of a glitch here. It's supposed to just go to continue. So let me do it again. Let me do it one more time. It's saying no, it doesn't want that. That's interesting. Oh, it has to be a CSV format. Okay, so it can't be an Excel sheet. Let's try this again. So I don't know if you know this, but if you, for some reason, can't get a bank connected to QuickBooks, you can download your transactions from your bank account and then just take that CSV file and upload it to QuickBooks. So it's asking what account this is going to, like what checking account in QuickBooks would this be associated with? What's interesting is it's not letting me select anything. Let's see if I can add an account. Okay. Let's see, is it checking, continue. It's going to just go ahead and automatically try, like you don't have to have it formatted in any certain way. It's going to try and figure out what the data is. Is the first row a header? I think it is. How many columns show amounts? I think just one column. It says in that because sometimes you can have like deposits in one column and withdrawals in the other column. So I'm going to say it's just one column. I believe that's the way that this is set up. And what's the date format used? I honestly don't know. Let me go see. Okay, so here's the actual spreadsheet just so you can see it. It's month, day, year. Here's the description. Here's the payout. So it of the amount. So it is just one. So date, format is month, day, year, year. What's the difference between these two? Oh, slashes instead of hyphens. It's weird. Date, description, amount. There is no check number, so I can leave that off. Continue. So it's asking if you want to reverse the values. Here's the idea. Sometimes, it tells you up here, but I'm going to explain it for you in case you don't like to read. Sometimes banks will show income deposits as negatives just because of the way accounting is for banks. It's weird. And so it's wanting to know, like, do you want to reverse it in case if those deposits are showing as negatives? We don't want to reverse those because it does look like this is set up for deposits or positives. That's usually the case. So keep original values, choose the transactions you want to export. So all of them. Why would we miss any? Continue. Yeah, that's what I said. And then we wait. I'll skip ahead if this takes too long. Okay, my transactions are uploading. This may take some time to appear. Let's click got it. And this is what it's going to look like. This would be the same thing that it looks like if you have, or it should be the same thing that it looks like if you have the bank feed connected. So it's just going to list your transactions and it's going to try to put a category for you. So it has sales into royalty payments. It's okay. Format and layout is advertising and marketing. I don't agree with that. So I'm going to click the transaction. Can I click right here? Yeah. And I'm going to call this, let's say publishing. Okay, there's no publishing. Usually it lets you add an account right here. Book, product costs. No. What options do we have? This is interesting. There's a section of personal expenses. I guess they're thinking if you were in a business where all of your, I don't like this. If you run a business where all of your business and personal transactions are in the same bank account, they're giving you a way to track those. I don't like that they're facilitating that, because you should never have your business and personal transactions coming in and out of the same bank account. They should always be separate banks. The fact that they're encouraging this because they have only one bank connection allowed, I don't like that. I guess they're saying, though, assuming that you do have some things, they want to make it to where you can code those. I just don't like that I don't like it that they are encouraging it. I bet you the whole reason they're doing this is because they want to connect this over to TurboTax, because Intuit owns TurboTax as well, and maybe make it a little bit easier to get all of your money from you. Okay, so here's the business. It's categorized, it's alphabetized. We have advertising, airfare, apps, buildings, business loans, commissions, contract labor, entertainment. I don't see anything that would be like publishing costs. I don't like using miscellaneous expense. I don't like using just other business expense. Yeah, there's literally nothing here. And it doesn't look like you can add accounts. So let's see. Normally you can go to in QuickBooks, your list of accounts that are available for you to use is called a chart of accounts. And usually that's here in the gear icon. No, there is no chart of accounts. You can also find it in accounting. No. You can always search for things, chart of accounts. Okay. There's a help topic, but that's just going to open up a little sidebar. This is for any QuickBooks. There's no chart of accounts. Like you can't edit the chart of accounts. Okay. I really, really, really don't like that. I'd be shocked if that remains a thing, because if you can't change your chart of accounts, then you're stuck with whatever accounts that they give you. Oh, you know what? I bet that's another. Yeah, they want to be able to map this directly over to TurboTax. And so if you are using your own custom chart of accounts and bringing in your own accounts that you're using to track your expenses, then they don't know how to map that to the tax return the right way. But these are going to be pre-mapped in their system. So they don't want you to have that customization. Interesting. Okay. That's a huge negative. And that alone might make this unusable for me, at least. So, okay, let's just say that I had to do something here. Let's call it contract labor. I'm going to assume that I paid somebody to do the format and layout of the book. Sales. Never trust the category QuickBooks gives. You see, it says proofreading services, and it tried to put it in apps and software. I'm going to call that contract labor as well, because that would be like maybe us paying somebody else to do it. Canvas subscription, that makes sense. Google ads, that makes sense. Airbnb lodging, it figured out it was lodging. Well done. Lyft. Okay, so we're going to assume that all of these, editing services, personal expense. No, it's a business expense. So it's just like you just swipe right on that. And contract labor. So I'm going to assume all these other ones are correct. I don't think they are, but let's just say they are. Can I not just, I can't just accept them all? They all have categories. That's stupid. In the other version of QuickBooks, you can accept these categories. Like you can say, yes, this is correct. What's interesting is I don't even see a place to say, yes, this is correct. I'm thinking maybe these are just automatically brought into QuickBooks. Like it's just saying this is what it is. And if you want to change it, you can change it, but there's no like approve button, which is odd. I don't like that though. Manage categories. Oh wait, is this my chart of accounts? So they're straight up saying, if you want to manage your categories, you have to upgrade. That's a huge lose. Okay, let's go look at the reports. What reports do we have? All right, so just 3. We have a profit and loss and a balance sheet and a list of the accounts. They're not even calling it a chart of accounts, which is funny. So here's all the different accounts we can have. It's a lot, don't get me wrong, but you can't customize them. It did let me add this checking account, which was funny, but it didn't let me add anything else. Okay, let's go to the profit and loss. This is like your income statement, shows all your income and expenses. Let me just change this to last year, because I think all the dates that I had were 2025. Yeah, okay. So it shows your sales, it shows your expenses. That's fine. You could use that for tax purposes. You can customize this by month. So that's good. Can we drill down into the individual accounts to see what makes it up? Yes. Okay, so you can do that. You can go in and look at the transaction maybe. Yeah. Okay, so this is the same thing that you would see in QuickBooks. You can edit it. You can add customers, it looks like. I bet you it's an upgrade. No? Okay, I can track customers. Okay, so that's good, I guess. I did see somebody say in a different video that if you try to edit a transfer between two accounts, that it just breaks. It doesn't let you do it. So let's try and do that. Let's put a transfer. Oh, because you can't even have a transfer because you can only have one bank account. I don't like that either. Because even if I only have one bank account connected, what if I had like another bank account being tracked in QuickBooks, or I just want to show a transfer between two accounts? You can't. So that's why he was getting the error. Okay. That's dumb. Let's look over at the balance sheet and see what that looks like. Should be pretty light last year. It's already on. Oh, it's as of today. That's fine. Okay. Let's do this. Let's look at everything. I want to show all accounts, whether they're 0 or active or not. Here we go. Okay, so this is way too much detail that I would never put like copier as a line item on your balance sheet, and you can't change this. They have credit card payable in here, but you can't connect a credit card, so you'd have to track that manually, I would assume. Oh, gross. Okay, so all of these personal accounts, whenever you spend money in your business on personal stuff, or whenever you put personal money into your business, it's basically considered equity. It's like you're using some of the business's equity on yourself, or you're contributing some of your business's equity, or contributing money to your business's equity, I should say. Normally what I would do is if we did want to track specific personal expenses, let's say like your federal tax estimate payments, that's technically a personal expense. You can't deduct that on your business tax return. So I would put that as a equity personal item. I'd probably track it separately. If you pay for your personal health insurance out of your business, there's a specific way that gets deducted. So we normally put that as equity. So I'd put that here too. That's fine. What I don't like about this though, is normally what I would have is like a personal expense category, and then all of these things as sub items of that, rather than just this long, gross looking equity section. This is an ugly balance sheet. And if you ever turn this into a bank or something, I think they would be very confused as to what this is. The other thing that you would be doing in QuickBooks is reconciling your bank account, hopefully. Let's see if that even is an option. Get started. So what this means is, okay, stop. You would put in a bank statement, and that bank statement would have your ending balance, right? So you would say, I want to reconcile the checking account, and I'm going to say that I have $1,000 in it as of the end of, I think the last transaction in this was June. And there were no service charges to start reconciling. Let's see what this looks like. There's obviously going to be a difference because I just made up that number. But what it's saying is like, hey, these came through the bank transactions you uploaded from your bank. So we're saying that they must have cleared. If you started with 0 and you had this many things go through, then you should have had a cleared balance of negative $1,372. You're saying that you had $1,000, so the difference is $2,300. Why? Now, normally you would go and figure out what's wrong, and you would add the transactions or whatever. Or hopefully the difference is 0 and everything just works out perfectly. So it looks like you can reconcile, which is good. You shouldn't be doing accounting in QuickBooks and not reconciling your bank account. So that's really it. I don't know if there's too much else I would look at in here. I'm sure that this is all going to be pretty limited because like you're not using bills and invoices probably. If you're on this version of QuickBooks, you're always going to have pop-ups and add-ons and please upgrade, please, please, please. So, all right, let me pop out of this screen share and give you my thoughts. Okay, that was fun, wasn't it? So Is this worth it? Could you use this for your author business? Can I suggest this to anybody? It's almost a hard no, mainly because you can't change your chart of accounts and customize which accounts you're looking at in the free version of QuickBooks Online. I think as your business grows, or even at the very beginning of it, you're going to want to track certain expenses that you just won't be able to track using this version if you can't change the expenses that you use. And I think that that is intentional by QuickBooks. They want to get you in, they want you using the software, but they want you to quickly outgrow it so that they can start charging you for a higher level. And whenever you do go to upgrade, they're going to tease you with a really low temporary rate, like $10 or $20 a month. And then it's going to quickly increase to $30, $40, or $50 a month. So I just don't like that bait and switch. Is there anybody who I could suggest using the free version of QuickBooks Online? I guess if you have a small side business that you're not really planning on growing, you don't really care about looking at the numbers on a regular basis, all you want to do is track things for tax purposes, then I guess maybe this could be okay. Where you're going to run into a problem is whenever you go to do your taxes, if you need to have an accountant look at your information, they won't be able to access your QuickBooks. So then what's going to happen is they're going to say, send me a P&L and a balance sheet. You go into QuickBooks, you get it, you're going to send it to your accountant, then your accountant's going to say, nope, that's the wrong date, go back and get it again. Then you're going to get it again, you're going to send it to your accountant. Then your accountant's going to see these expenses that don't make sense to them. So they're going to ask you, can you please go drill down into this account and show me the detail of what makes it up? And it's going to be so much back and forth that you may have well just paid for QuickBooks. But I think that that's actually by design too, because I'll bet after December or maybe even before December, you're going to get some pop-ups about getting your taxes done for free using TurboTax. And so you'll click a button, it's going to populate all your Schedule C stuff on your tax return for you. It's going to ask you for some more information. And then you're going to go to file your tax return. It's going to say, oh, wait, you don't qualify for the free version. And so you have to upgrade to this version. Oh, and you have to pay to get your state filed. Oh, and we charge you if you're going to get a direct deposit or audit protection or peace of mind, whatever that is. But before you find any of that out, you're going to have all your taxes complete, hopefully the right way. And so then you'll figure it's easier just to click checkout now and pay them for that. And you still think maybe you saved money, but you're not even really sure if your taxes are done right. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit salty about the way that QuickBooks and Intuit market to people and do all this bait and switch. Intuit actually had a lawsuit or a Department of, FTC or whatever, complaint or filing or ruling against them because they used to say free taxes, free taxes, free taxes. And then it turned out that like a super small minority of people actually ever got their taxes done for free using TurboTax. So they had to stop saying free taxes on a lot of their advertising. Sorry for the rant. Okay. So was this helpful? One, do you like these kinds of walkthrough videos? This is a much longer video than I normally do. Let me know if this was helpful or not. If it was, I'll do more of these. If it wasn't, I'll never do them again. And also, is this something that you would consider using? Did you see things in here that you said, no, this is fine for me, I would use this? Or is it missing features that you would need to see in your accounting software for you to even consider using it? Let me know, and I will see you next time.